Good evening, folks. Usually, I'm doing this when the game is over, but it seems like tonight's game has been over since halftime. It has not been a good day for the Cavs, coming off their impressive win in game three, which followed the brutal defeat in game two. Tonight has not been pretty in any way, shape, or form. I don't have anything positive to say about this game. But as I've been saying the entire postseason, after a win or after a loss, or whatever the case, this post game will happen because we've got thoughts and we all want to hear what everybody has to say. And again, I'll start off here. I've done this before. If anybody has any thoughts, comments, questions, feel free to reply wherever you're watching, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are. Reply, we'll get your questions up, and we'll do my best to answer them. This is a brutal showing on a night where the Cavs are supposed to make a statement to let them know and, maybe try and tie the series back up. As I'm recording this right now, the Cavs are down by 32 points. The third quarter is over and have almost nothing positive to take away because when the game started, Donovan was okay. Darius was able to play. Evan was all right. Jarrett was all right. Hunter looked fine. And now all of a sudden, Garland's been gimpy, but said he's able to play and he's going to give them minutes while he can. In addition to his calf issue, now Donovan Mitchell has an ankle problem. Isn't that just lovely? DeAndre Hunter's clearly seeing some discomfort with that thumb, based on the shooting and everything else. You had Ben Mathurin, beginning of the game, get into it with Hunter. It changed nothing for the Cavs. They made 4 shots in the first quarter. They had 6 baskets with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. I mean, what can we say here tonight that's positive? I don't have the box score up. We're going to do that because I'm not here to talk about box score and stats. I still have the game up in front of me. I'm not going to turn it off just yet. I mean, it's cool. Dean Wade finally made a basket. That was nice. It's been a while since that's happened. Ty Jerome made a couple of shots in that last quarter. That was cool. Finally. Couple buckets. Had that 3. Couple free throws. But, I mean, yeah, looking at these stats is going to do absolutely nothing to alleviate any potential thoughts or concerns about what happened. We know what the worst part about this now is, though? The worst part of the whole matter, as the Cavs looks like, we got Tristan, Javante, and Jalen Tyson in the game. The worst part of all this is now here come all these crazy rumors. Just saw a tweet that said the Cavs should trade Garland, Allen, and picks for Giannis. You go 64-18, you don't get it done, and now last offseason, the Cavs said they were going to run it back, keep Garland, keep Allen, and then they made the coaching change, and it worked because they moved up to win 68 games. They actually did a lot of things really well. It was a good offseason, and when you think about the offseason and what they went, and they got a healthy Ty Jerome last year. You know what? That's really it. And they drafted Jalen Tyson. They let Marcus Morris walk. They got some new two-way guys. They brought over Luke Travers and JT Thor, who then got replaced after the fact. Cavs just cut it to 30. Uh-oh. Look at this. They're within 30. Tyson's driving on Thomas Bryant Euro step, and he traveled. That's what the 11th travel the Cavs have had. It's a tough one out there. But you can't just now go and trade everybody, can you? Is that really the path now? It stinks because this is 2 years in a row that Garland has some kind of injury that throws him off. It's 2 years in a row that Mitchell's limping to the finish line after playing at an insanely high level. Donovan looked very good in those first few games against Boston last year, and then as soon as he goes down, that's it. So you take Donovan off this team, off the court, and you're losing in the play-in as they did in 2022. So I again, anyone questions, comments, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll answer any inquiries that folks have. Just drop them in. If you're still watching the fourth quarter, the deficit has grown now to 35. Johnny Furphy's going to enter the game for the Pacers, so no more TJ McConnell, no more Andrew Nemhard. But any questions, toss them in. We'll get you some answers. I don't know that I'm of the opinion that you suddenly blow it up now right after. And let's also keep in mind that the series isn't over after tonight. I'm 6 minutes in. To anyone that's been listening or anyone that's just joining, we are 6 minutes in, and the general vibe is that Indiana already has this series won. There's not much the Cavs can do. Tyson is going to get free throws. There's not much the Cavs can do right now. Is kind of the feeling that you're down 3-1. Game 1, you failed to deliver when it was on the line. Game 2, you failed to finish when it was on the line. You did a really nice job in Game 3 on the road, and then you come back with this tonight. I mean, it's hard to name a performance by the Cavs that was at the level that we saw tonight. It's such a disappointment, all things considered. And that, the way this went down was just, my goodness. I mean, Tyson's free throw makes it 114-80 with 9:57 left. Did we think the Cavs could lose like this in a playoff game to a team that wasn't Boston or OKC? The biggest problem, and been saying this all series, said this on the block, the shot, the stop before, that you can't overlook the Pacers. There's going to be a lot of road wins in this series. And now, the road team is finally going to lose one. The road team is now 3-1 in the series, with the Pacers finally holding down home court tonight. There isn't a player seemingly on the Cavs bench that is able to come in and make a difference. And as good as Kenny Atkinson has been this year, he has to do something in Game 5. You don't go 64-18 by accident. That's something that you work for. It's something that camaraderie and cohesion, couple of years of building, and you bring in DeAndre Hunter at the deadline. You sign Javonte Green, another veteran, and you get to the big stage and you're not ready. Doesn't help that Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro can't make shots, and they're your two best bench defenders. Yet DeAndre Hunter hasn't shown up in a huge way in this postseason. That Ty Jerome has shrunken into his Pichu self. He's not Pikachu. He's not Raichu. Ty Jerome looks like the Pichu, the pre-evolved form of Pikachu, with how he's played in this series off the bench. So when your sixth man of the year candidate isn't stepping up, and your wings can't make shots, and DeAndre Hunter now has a bad thumb and can't score, what are you supposed to do? Just got a bucket from Tristan Thompson. That's nice. What are you supposed to do? And, you think about contributions. Guys going down, and Cav just cut it to 29 on Isaac Okoro 3. So thank you, Okoro. You can make a 3 when you're down by 32. In case the Cavs got it under 30. Already got the joke online in about Darius Garland hits big layup to cut deficit to 39. That's already been used. So we got 8:50. It's a 29-point game. I'm going to keep it on for a bit here and answer any questions as y'all throw them in. And to anyone that ends up watching this back on audio, this pod is being recorded during the fourth quarter. Normally hopping on the air after the game is over, but with the deficit and the situation, it's a long fourth quarter. It's a long wait. So getting things started a little early. To those that have been tuning in throughout these playoffs, a big shout out, big thank you. It's been nice to be back on the air again. Going to have some off-season across the Cavs content, some other guests that will be joining the pod in the near future. That's very excited to get their Cleveland inputs on, folks that work within the different organizations in the city, the Guardians, the Cavs, et cetera, et cetera. But, getting back to the game and thinking about what's at hand here. The Cavs have never made the conference finals without LeBron in this era. You know what had happened once? If you go through the Cavs history, remember the Price, Daugherty, Nance years? They did get to one Eastern Conference Finals. That was in the 91-92 season, where they lost to the Bulls in 6 games. They lost Game 6 by 5. They lost Game 3 by 9. It was a relatively close series. Jordan actually led in scoring in 4 of them. The Cavs did win in Chicago in that series, one of the games. But without LeBron, that's their last conference finals 33 years ago. And you think about the Cavs and their history, there was the Miracle at Richfield, which was their only playoff series win. If you go through the history, it's their only playoff series win until that year. So after the Miracle at Richfield, it takes 16 more years to win a playoff series. And then the year after the Cavs go to the conference finals, they get to round 2 with Price, Daugherty, Nance, 92-93. They lose in 3 straight first rounds under Mike Fratello. So after losing in the semis, Lenny Wilkens gone, Fratello era. He loses 4 out of 5 years. LeBron comes to town. The first year, they missed the playoffs. The second year, they missed the playoffs. And then they go East semis, finals, East semis, conference finals, conference semis. LeBron leaves, lose everything for 4 years. And then LeBron comes back. You make 4 straight finals. Lose 1, win 1, lose 1, lose 1. And now you've gone these last 4 years where it's been losing the play-in, losing the first round, losing the conference semis. You change coaches. You win 64 games. It's the third 60-win season in franchise history. The only other 2 were with LeBron and company, 08-09 and 09-10. So you're looking at that aspect of it. LeBron James has been at the center of all the good stuff that's happened. The finals appearances, the level that they've been at. And yes, Price and Daugherty took them to a conference finals 33 years ago. Donovan Mitchell, amazingly, has never played in the conference finals. Some way, somehow, something always gets in the way. Now, if you look at Donovan Mitchell's career, while he's been in Cleveland, he's done unbelievable things. His first year at the Cavs, he had career high in scoring. The scoring numbers have actually dropped every year, but the production has stayed high. Donovan made a couple of second rounds with the Jazz in his 5 years, but of course could never get to that second round. 28.5 points per game in 61 playoff games. I mean, he's been unbelievable in the postseason, and he's been efficient, and so much has gone his way. But these injuries now, these last 2 years, have been killer. And so now is the question for the Cavs and Donovan, is there anything you can do to come back from 3-1 down? Anything at all? As Ben Shepherd just missed a layup. All right, they're getting defensive rebounds at least. Is there anything you can do? Oh, Javonte Green, coast to coast. All right, a couple free throws. What can you do to win Game 6? The double bigs hasn't worked. The double guards haven't worked. Those first 3 games were just Mitchell. Mobley looked decent in his return in Game 3. Strus has had some good moments, but today we saw nobody could really get it done. The plus minuses are god-awful. Mitchell had 0 assists. That's not like him at all. And yes, the injury, so no second half action, but 12 points, 1 rebound. Cavs with 14 assists, 20 turnovers. So 23 baskets and 20 turnovers. The Pacers with 43 baskets, only 7 turnovers. The Cavs have scored 32 of their 89 points at the foul line to this point. I mean, there's a lot that we can say that's negative about what's happened here tonight. There's a lot. And truthfully, as you see the title of this broadcast, they didn't have their best or their second best or their third best or their fourth best. Cavs had their worst. Down 27 with the balls. Nice to see. Like Max is slightly delayed here. But this is just a tough game for Cleveland. They did not deliver. Plain and simple. Coral push off on Jarris Walker. We're seeing it all tonight. He's certainly not happy about that call. But isn't this something that we'd be in this position talking now? You can never overlook a team. Been saying that throughout, and they kind of did, but that's really not even what happened. A lot of folks thought that the Pacers' run of the conference finals was a fluke last year, myself included. They played a banged-up Knicks team. They played a banged-up Bucks team, and they got swept by Boston. Then they get the Bucks again, kind of banged up again. They take them in 5. They get a Cavs team who turned out is more banged up than we realized. Craig Porter for 3. No, it does not hit huge 3 to cut deficit to 24. And because they're banged up, or whatever the reason for the Cavs, you could say it's injuries. You could say it's ineptitude. You could say it's whatever you want. The Pacers are being physical. The Pacers are being dirty. In a sense, this has been a very dirty series from the way they've played. It's overly physical to the point of extra elbows and throws, but we're not in the bad boys era anymore. A lot of that stuff doesn't slide in regular basketball. It's a less physical game than it once was. It's not being officiated the same way, but you really can't look at the refs and say that's the reason for the loss today. When you fall behind by 49 points and you're looking to the refs as part of the problem, then you might be part of the issue with how we perceive the games. In the beginning of the game, it was quite clear that Pacers fans were under the impression that the Cavs are flopping and are kind of acting soft and whatnot, and they're just being chippy, getting under their skin. The language the broadcast used when James Johnson entered the game the other night to set screens, commit fouls. But, oh, yeah, he's got 6. He's going to use them. What does that mean? What does that mean, Corey Jefferson, who did call a very good game with Ryan Rucco? What does it mean that James Johnson's got 6 fouls? He's going to use them. Is the toughness that the Pacers used at the end of Game 3 the reason they won by so much in Game 4? Are you insinuating something else? That the Jordan rules are something of a modernized, less version coming back? You're just going to send your bruiser in? I mean, yes, Kendrick Perkins was a Cav once upon a time, and Kendrick Perkins set that screen in that Boston series not that long after Kelly Olynyk knocked out Kevin Love for the postseason, and a game that saw J.R. Smith suspended for the first 2 games. It saw Jay Crowder getting injured. There was a lot there. And the Cavs don't seem to have the toughness. Tristan Thompson, really the only guy, but they have not wanted to stoop to that level, and nor should they. There's been no retaliation for anything that they've dealt with or felt. Hunter and Mobley both suffered their injuries in this series, by the way. Darius Garland, of course, got hurt in the Game 2 against Miami. The Cavs only got 1 single healthy playoff game from their all-star backcourt together. 1 game. 1 full game, and then a couple quarters of another one. Chuma Okeke, Cavs playoff appearance for round 2. Very exciting. 440. Tony Bradley, Jarris Walker. Right over Craig Porter. Tyson. Let's at least see 1 bucket here. Tristan, come on. Tristan Thompson missing a dunk. Trying to reverse slam on Ben Shepherd. But getting back to the point, it's the physical play of Indiana that seems to have been too much for the Cavs to handle in this game. It's not a loss that we're going to remember fondly. If this is it, and talked about this in the beginning, if this is it, then what happens? Do you actually blow it up? And they're not to the point of needing to do that yet. Ty Jerome's an impending free agent. So there's the decision about paying him, especially after what he showed in this round compared to what he did in the last one. 8 of 20 in game 1. 1 of 14 in game 2, but 1 basket in game 3. Today was okay the third quarter. Didn't play in the fourth. So hasn't had rhythm the entire series. A lot of questions to be asked right now about what's happening with Cleveland, where they should go, how they should change things. Do they even have anyone other than Craig Porter that would come in and make the difference, talking about that rotation change? Do Wade and Okoro still see the court when they can't space? Does Donovan even play game 5? Does Sam Merrill have to have the game of his life? He's only had 1 double-digit scoring playoff game as he enters his third season with Cleveland now. Does Strus have to score 30? He's never even scored 25 in a playoff game. He's been very good in the postseason, but he's never scored 25. Does Jarrett Allen, who only took 1 shot in 20 minutes with 2 rebounds, does he play a different role? They're not going to separate the double bigs, but do you switch it up completely? Do you put Tristan Thompson in the game? Can you trust Javonte Green? Is DeAndre Hunter's thumb okay? We have a million questions that the Cavs have to answer if they want to even get through one game. And thinking about it today, 3-1 versus 2-2. This is not like the Warriors series at all. And you don't have LeBron, Kyrie, or Kevin Love on this team. So for anyone that was thinking 3-1 is possible, crazier things have happened. But the Cavs' big 3 of yesteryear is not going to walk through that door. Indiana's not going to suddenly go soft. There's no looming suspension for any of these players in the starting lineup where Draymond had to miss a game. It's just your best versus their best. And do you have what it takes to win 1 game, let alone 3? The only good news is that if you manage to win, you only have to win once on the road to get back to game 7. But Tuesday at 7 p.m., it's going to be Cavs versus Pacers in game 5. Whether Cleveland rises to the occasion or doesn't will be determined by the 48 minutes on the floor that night. We will see if they can get it done or if they're heading home 4-1, second round drubbing, and both physical and mental beatdown by the Indiana Pacers. See if Donovan's all right, if Darius is okay, where the rest of the team lies. Mobley, Allen. We'll see you on Tuesday for game 3 we'll see you on Tuesday for game 5 between the Cavs and the Pacers at Rocket Arena. You know it's going to be bumping, and the Cavs have to not only win, but they have to set the tone. And if they can do both of those things, they might just stand a chance going into game 6. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Cavs, Pacers, game 4. Could see Jalen Tyson offensive rebound on a missed free throw, but game 4 is happening Tuesday. Okoro just scored again. He's in double digits in the 4th. We'll see you Tuesday, game 4. Zach Weiss, Cross the Cast. Thanks all for tuning in throughout this 4th quarter. Peace out.